For the purpose of the sales rep and this next series of videos, we're going to be dealing with specifically the sales department menu option. Now, you can turn this on or have this turned on for your different employees, but it really kind of encompasses all of the things that a sales rep would have to deal with in one set of menus instead of having to jump around in the system. So to get there, in my situation, I don't have it on the primary menu at the top. It's in this little drawer, but like I said, it can be anywhere. You can change the order of these things and stick it anywhere you want on your menu. So we're going to go ahead and go to the sales department. And from the sales department, I have a series of menus here that give me access to the things that I need access to from a sales rep perspective. So in this video, we're going to cover how to locate and work with the customer record, and then we're going to kind of branch out from there. So to get started, we're going to take a look at the locate contact. And this is the same control that we use throughout the entire application for locating a customer. Now, the primary thing that we want to make sure of here is that we always try to find the customer that we're talking to before we go create a new one, because just because he's just walked in the showroom floor today to look at a new motorcycle doesn't mean that he wasn't in the parts department 2 weeks ago buying parts, or in the service department before that. So always locate the customer. Now, the locate control can be any combination of information. So for example, I could put in SMTI and it'll give me all of the people that match that description for the first and the last name. I could start putting in a phone number, the state, any combination of information here I can use to try to get to the customer that I'm looking for. Now, in addition to the normal things that you do when you're working with customers, you can also do an advanced search, and this can actually aid in doing cold calls, for example, or trying to talk to customers that have been in the last series of months, or however it is that I want to look at it. But the advanced options give me a lot of other things that I can kind of narrow in my search for. And I can also do locate random. I can tell it that I'm cold calling, so as soon as I get through logging a call, it'll automatically pull me up the next customer. So there's a lot of little options that we can use here to speed up the process of doing cold calling. But the primary thing is to understand that we want to make sure that we are looking at the right customer before we actually locate them. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing that will help in that. Is when we come in here and we start doing a search, you notice that each of these contact records actually has a magnifying glass that I can select that particular customer record, but beside it is a little drop down arrow, and if you pick it, it will actually open up additional detail for that particular customer. Now, we're in the demo database and there's a bunch of garbage in here, but this is an example, but it'll bring up all of the information that it knows about that particular customer record, what their current address is, the city, state, and zip, and that kind of stuff, to help make sure that that is the customer you're looking for before you actually select it. But once you get ready to work with the customer, you're just going to click the magnifying glass to select their contact record. And then you'll notice up here at the top is the information about them, their email address, their name, their contact ID. And then you also, and this is a pretty handy thing to be able to use as well, beside their contact ID here, there's a little gray notepad looking thing, and I can actually open up and keep notes about that particular customer to help remind me of who they are. Had daughter in hospital, whatever, to help key me in on asking a question when they come back in. And then you'll notice if there is a note there, it actually changes color. So it's a red, it's grayed out if there's no note, and then it's red if there's a note. You just click it, gives you a little detail, and then you can go on about your business. But the point is that once you select that contact record, you've got access to quite a bit of information about them, their additional contact records. Now, in the event that we started locating a record and we did not find them in the list, it's a quick note here to just click this little icon here. It brings up the detail and start typing in what you can get from them, first, last name, business name, address, phone number, email address down here at the bottom. You can add additional ones if they happen to have more than one phone number, for example. So adding a new contact record is pretty trivial as well. The thing to understand, though, is once you select that customer, up here at the top of the screen is going to display information about the customer that you currently are working with. So it's not necessary, for example, if you wanted to go look up invoices or you wanted to go look at service history or whatever it is, you're not going to have to go back and locate that customer again. You locate them once, and then everything we do from that point forward is going to be working with that specific customer.